Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. Yeah, just few seconds. 50 of them have joined. 50 of you have joined. Let's wait for a few seconds. Fifty-four. Okay, I hope you are able to see the slide there. Can anyone?
No, ma'am, the slide is not visible.
Is it visible? No.
Not visible. No.
No? Now?
Now it is. Now it is visible. Yeah, visible.
Oh, okay. 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 So that means I should keep it over. All right, guys. We shall start. 54 join the meeting. Okay. Yeah. So proceeding with our discussion, today by the end of this class, you will be able to describe the operation of a bridge rectifier, that is full wave bridge rectifier. I hope you recall the things what we have discussed in the previous classes, that is half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier with center tap, that is 2 diodes. So today we will be discussing the bridge rectifier, which is very common, widely used bridge rectifier. So here, instead of 2 diodes, 4 diodes will be used. All right, and the circuit is most popularly used because the response or the output that we get from the bridge rectifier is comparatively good enough. So we use this bridge rectifier circuit. So here, okay, just to recap, this is the expressions what we had for full wave rectifier with 2 diodes there. So hope you recall the things. DC load current, we derived the expression, it came to be 2 Im by pi, and RMS load current to be Im by root 2. And we found out that the efficiency of full wave rectifier with 2 diodes, we got the expression, the value to be 81.2%, and ripple factor, we got it to be 0.483, and peak inverse voltage, we derived that it is 2 Vm for full wave rectifier. Okay, just a recap, just to recall things for you. So as I said, the bridge rectifier is popularly used for full wave rectification using 4 diodes in forming the 4 arms of an electrical bridge. So what you can see here is the 4 arms of electrical bridge. So in each arm, a diode is connected there. So this fashion, the way we connect diode in this fashion. Sean, you want to say something? Sean Leslie, you can mute if you don't want to say anything. Okay. Okay. So, so if you observe there, let's look at the operation of the circuit there. The diodes D1, D2, D3, D4 are connected in this fashion, and there is a RL load connected here. So the whole setup, this network is connected to the secondary of the transformer, as we can clearly identify there, right? So when point C is positive, when the voltage from the secondary of the transformer, when it is positive with respect to point D here, as you can see. Now observe that D1 will be forward biased, okay? And to complete the circuit, D2 will be forward biased, all right? So when point C is positive with respect to D, all right? When C is positive with respect to D, diode D1 will be forward biased and diode D2 will be forward biased. Okay, so because of that, the current flowing through the circuit will be via D1 and D2. And observe D3 and D4 will be reverse biased, so they will be open circuit. So observe the current flow there. The current flow will be from C, D1, E, F, D2, D, and back to C. So this will be the flow of current here. I just want to show the same thing using this, but the names used there is different. If you can remember these names where C, D, E, F are pointed there. If you apply that, okay, let's say this is C and this is D, and here it is E and F. Observe the arrow marks there, the direction of the current flow. When C, if I take this as C, if C is positive with respect to D, or you can understand with M and N also, no problem. Okay, when this point is positive, observe D1 will be forward bias. So current flow will be from D1 via RL, okay, and D2 and back to the transformer. So this will be the flow of the current. In the negative half cycle, when this point is positive with respect to this point, you can call it as N or D or whatever. Yeah, when this lower point of the secondary of the transformer is positive with respect to this point, now observe that D3 will be forward bias. Okay, so the current flow will be via D3 here, then RL, okay, then D4, and going back to this term, completing the part there. I hope you are able to relate there. From here, D3 via D3, RL, then D4 coming back to this position. So that will be the flow of the current. So during the positive half cycle, first positive half cycle, we saw that diode D1 and D2 will be conducting. So the observe the current flowing through the RL there, it is in this direction, right? So if you take the drop across the RL, this point will be positive and this point will be negative, right? So look at the current flow there in the positive half cycle. Even in the negative half cycle, the current flow will be from top to bottom of the RL. So even if you take the voltage drop across RL, this point will be positive and this point will be negative. What I'm trying to say here is, even in the positive half cycle or the negative half cycle, the direction of current flowing through RL will be same. That is, the direction of the current via RL is unidirectional from top to bottom here in this circuit, as it is shown there. Okay. And
excuse me, ma'am.
yes, Avin.
Ma'am, even D2 can be forward biased, right? But why isn't the current flowing through D2?
Positive cycle or negative cycle? Which cycle are we talking about? This is your positive cycle. Okay.
Both of them, ma'am. Even over here, in positive cycle, even D4 can be forward biased, right?
In positive cycle, D1, this is the path. Look at this, D1 via RL and D2. Is your question why D4 is not conducting?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, tell me. Think and tell me. Now, when this point is positive, look at the potential coming at this point. It is positive, right? So at this point, which diode should be forward biased and should be conducting? When the potential D1, right? So diode D4 will be reverse biased, isn't it? So
yes,
it will be open circuit. It will be open circuit.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for asking question. That may be doubt of others also. So even the same thing happens in the negative cycle too, right? So when current flowing through D3 RL and it goes via D4, because D2 will be reverse bias when this point is positive. Got it? I hope your doubt is cleared, Arvind.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, right, proceeding, where was I? Yeah, I was mentioning about the direction of the current via RL, that is I naught, your output current, I naught. It will be unidirectional, it will be always from top to bottom. And the current flowing through RL in positive cycle will be due to diode D1 and D2. Okay, in negative cycle, it will be due to D3 and D4. Okay, so we can say that in the circuit, the output current I naught is equal to ID1 and ID2 in the positive cycle, and in the negative cycle, output current will be equal to ID3 and ID4. I hope you are getting. Let me go through the, yeah, this is your equivalent circuit. Observe the circuit there, considering D1 and D2 to be conducting. Considering D1 and D2 to be conducting. Okay, so if you observe the equivalent circuit, then the output current, the current flowing through RL will be equal to current flowing through ID1 will be equal to current flowing through ID2. Correct? So this is your response. This is your response. The output waveforms what we get for full wave rectifier. Observe that it is similar to the previous response what we discussed in the center tap type of full wave rectifier, right? So this is your sinusoidal input, right? And this, oh, sorry. Okay, I'm not in PDF. These two responses, what you can see, just in the positive cycle, it is due to the diodes conducting in positive cycles. And which are the diodes conducting in positive half cycle? They are diode D1 and D2, right? So this response, what you can observe here, where my mouse is pointing to, these response, the current, you can take it as current, it is due to ID1 and ID2. So the response is from only positive half cycle. And the second line, what you observe here, it is the current output, what you can see due to the diodes D3 and D4. Okay, so the overall current, what you can observe here, it is the total current I naught, where my mouse is pointing. So I naught in the full wave rectifier, as we discussed in the previous class, you will get response or the output in both the half cycles, both positive and negative half cycles. You will have responses, and even the output voltage. And output voltage, we know it is I into R, that is I naught into RL or IDC into RL, or in whichever way you understand, you can take it. Output voltage I into R, so it will be both again in positive and negative half cycles. So when you get a question, explain the operation of a full wave rectifier, whether it is using 2 diodes or 4 diodes, then you have to explain. Explain with the circuit diagram. Okay, this is the circuit. All right, explain its operation, explain with the equivalent circuit there. All right, and the responses. And typically, if the expression is also asked, then you have to give the details of the expressions. Are you all with me so far? Are you all with me? Okay. So, okay. So shall we proceed with the derivation part? Let me proceed with the derivation part. I will change the slide here. Present window. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I hope you are able to see this PDF file. Are you able to see this window? Kindly acknowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody, yeah. Somebody unmute and speak. Yeah. Because when I open this tab, I'll be not in the Google Meet window. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, all are attentive. Thank you. Okay, observe this. Let's go for derivation. Yeah, going to the equivalent circuit there. How do we derive the expressions? Again with the equivalent circuit. Considering the equivalent circuit, this is our equivalent circuit. Oh, okay. So considering only diode D1 and D2 to be conducting, and that is only for first positive half cycle, and D3 and D4 are not conducting here. So D1 and D2, they are replaced with the internal resistance RF, okay, of the diodes. And as you can see, the circuit is now altered like this, where D3 and D4, they are not conducting, so it is open circuit, so it is not shown there. All right. Now observe, how do we used to generally proceed with the derivation? We used to always write KVL to this loop, inside loop, right? We used to apply KVL and arrive with the current expression here. All right. And what is the voltage applied? Then we used to substitute in the current. Then we used to derive all the parameters, right? So similarly, let us do the same thing here for bridge rectifier. Okay. Now applying the KVL. Now apply KVL to this equivalent circuit. How do you write the KVL equation there? Can anyone tell me? Applying KVL.
V2,
Yeah.
V2 is equals to I naught into RF plus I naught into RL plus I naught into RF.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. I will tell in the is equal to equal kind of equation, because KVL is summation of all the voltage drop within the loop will be equal to 0. So let me narrate in that way. Going in this direction, as I'm entering here, as this potential is minus, I will say minus V2 plus I naught into RF plus I naught into RL plus I naught into RF is equal to 0. Okay, that is also correct. Or if you say V2 minus I2 into RF minus I naught into RL minus I naught into RF, that is equal to 0, that is also correct. Okay, so starting from the potential that you are entering, if you are taking negative, all right, then here it will be positive. So that is one way. Or otherwise you can multiply the whole equation with negative sign. That is also fine. So I'll repeat the equation for those who are finding it difficult. As I'm entering here, minus V2 plus I naught into RF plus I naught into RL plus I naught into RF is equal to 0. Okay, let's go to the expression here. See here. In other way around, plus V2 is equal plus V2 minus I naught RF minus I naught RL minus I naught RF is equal to 0. That is also correct. So we need the expression for I naught. I naught is equal to V2 by 2 RF plus RL. Okay, please note down all this. You have to go on copying along with my explanation there. So I naught will be equal to V2 by 2 RF plus RL. Now assuming the same thing, we proceed with this assumption as we used to do, taking the ratio, turn ratio N1 by N2 is equal to 1. Taking that, we have V2, which is our instantaneous secondary supply voltage. V2, it is Vm into sine omega t. Okay, substituting that, you have I naught is equal to Vm by 2 Rf plus RL sin omega t, where your Im is, I naught is equal to, you can write it as Im sin omega t, which is between 0 to pi, right? Where your Im is Vm by 2 Rf plus RL. Are you with me? Are you all copying? Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So observe here. Observe here. The derivations what we had for, say, the full wave rectifier with 2 diodes, even there we had the same expression, right? Im was equal to Vm by Rf plus RL, right? So if you recall things, for all the parameters, that is DC load current, DC load voltage, RMS load current, RMS load voltage, or percentage regulation, or efficiency, or ripple factor, or PID. For all these derivations, if you replace RF with RL, if you replace all the parameters RF with 2 RF, you will get the same derivations and same expressions. The derivation will be similar to what we had done in the previous class. Are you with me? Replacing RF by 2 RL. Why is that so? Because observe, recall the equivalent circuit there. In the bridge rectifier, you have 2 diodes conducting at a time in the say half cycles, right? So because of that, you will have 2 RF in the equations. So everywhere, wherever you have RF, if you substitute 2 RF, you will get the same derivation. So you can try that as homework, but I want you to write all the expressions, the equations for all the parameters. Can you do it now? And tell me what will be your expressions for full wave bridge rectifier with different parameters, that is peak load current, DC load current, RMS load current, DC load voltage, RMS load voltage, percentage regulation, rectification efficiency, ripple factor. I want all of you to write down. Write the expressions there, final expressions, replacing R with 2 RF. Write and just tell me whether you've completed in the chat box. Don't just say yes. I want you to write the final expressions for all the parameters. Somebody's saying something.
Should we write the chat box?
No. Just write down in your notes and just let me know if you have done it. See, I have displayed the table there, summary of the table here. Just don't copy. You try and just verify whether what you have written is correct or not. Don't copy. First you try, replace RF with 2 RF and see, verify the same thing on the slide. The summary is displayed on the screen. Derivation you can do later, as I mentioned, you can try it later. But it goes similar to the derivations what we had for 2 diodes. So verify here, are you getting the same things? Peak load current, Im, is it equal to Vm by 2 RF plus RL? Completed, okay. Yeah, Mabel, Kate, Why only same guys will always reply? Are those only ones always attentive? Okay, Anuja, Anubna, Rabil, Satvik. Don't simply say yes, okay? Yeah, you have to answer your conscious, not me. Okay, fine. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now just cross check. Cross check. Are you getting the same expressions? DC load current, is it IDC is equal to 2 Im by pi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. RMS load current, have you got it to be Im by root 2?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. DC load voltage VDC, it is 2 Vm by pi by 1 plus 2 times R by RL.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So all things there, it will be same except the last parameter, peak inverse voltage. Okay. Oh, which screen are you able to see? Are you able to see this PPT?
No,
also?
ma'am. Like,
PPT is not visible, isn't it?
yes, ma'am. It's not visible.
Okay, fine. Yeah. All right. So let's go to PIV. PIV is slightly different here. As you can observe here, look at the equivalent circuit there. This is the equivalent circuit when diode D1 and D2 are conducting, taking for example, and D3 and D4 are not conducting here. So PIV is nothing but peak inverse voltage, what we want to observe, right? So peak inverse voltage across the non-conducting diodes. So non-conducting diodes here are D3 and D4, as you can observe, and they are replaced with open circuit. So the voltage across them, if you are taking it to be VR, all right, now they are connected in parallel there, right? So you can take just this loop. So apply KVL there, it will be V2 minus VR is equal to 0, isn't it? Are you with me? Are you able to understand? So if I apply KVL in this loop, I can go minus V2 plus VR is equal to 0, or V2 minus VR is equal to 0. Both are correct. Okay. Now, assuming here the diodes D1 and D2 to be ideal and the drop across to be assuming it to be say short circuit because they are conducting. Now we are talking about peak inverse voltage. So our expression for PIV will be V2 minus VR is equal to 0 because D3 and D4 are connected in parallel here, right? So our VR will be equal to V2, correct? VR will be equal to V2. VR is nothing but the drop across the diode that is not conducting. So V2, we know it is the secondary of the transformer Vm sin omega t. So PIV will be equal to maximum of VR, that is V2, which is Vm. We're taking sin omega t to be 1. So PIV for bridge rectifier. PIV for bridge rectifier, it is Vm. Please note the difference there. Whereas PIV for the center tap transformer type of rectifier, it was 2 Vm.
2 Vm.
Yeah, correct. Can you recall that? So here it is only Vm. Please note down these. You have to draw the equivalent circuit there. Equivalent circuit with D1 and D2 conducting and D3 and D4 not conducting. And let me know when you are done. Since both the diodes are parallelly connected, you can consider only the first loop there to apply the KVL and to find the PIV across one diode. . Okay. Okay, fine, Kate.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, let me change the presentation now and we'll go back to solving problem. Okay. Where is my slide? Yes. So you're able to see the PPT, right? So this was the one I was trying to explain there later, but I had not presented. Okay. So I hope just verify all your expression there if you have got the same expressions for full wave bridge rectifier. Cross check. Efficiency, ripple factor, everything will be same as the center tap transformer type rectifier. Okay. Cross check. So percentage regulation will be 2 RF by RL. So replacing RF in all the expressions with 2 RF. Okay, fine. So take this problem, try to solve this problem. Take the problem there. In a full wave bridge rectifier, the transformer secondary voltage is 100 sine omega t. And the forward resistance of each diode is 25 ohms. And the load resistance is 950 ohms. Calculate DC output voltage, ripple factor, efficiency of rectification, PIV across non-conducting diode, percentage regulation, peak diode current, DC load current, DC current through each diode, and RMS current through each diode. You have all the parameters there, you have the expression, and you know how to find VM. How do we proceed? From the given things. What is given?
We have the VM
What is VM?
100.
Correct. 100 volts. Yeah.
I mean, the first one answer 60.47.
Yeah, 48. DC output voltage. You will substitute equation VDC is equal to 2 Vm by pi by 1 plus 2 RF by RL. I want all, please don't disclose the answers. I want everyone to try and enter your answers in the chat box. Complete all the calculations. Enter your answer in the chat box. Let me see how many of you are able to give me the answers. B is ripple factor. Okay. Yeah, Adit, Varsha, Suhag replied. Anagha, Satvik replied. Anupna replied. Rimisha De Silva replied. Mohammad Rabil, Ritin Shetty, Darren Dissa, Jane, Sean, Leslie, Roshan, Ryan Isaac, Emlyn, Samrud, Glenn, Vigna, Godson, Melroy, Roshali, Havan, Revan, Ketan, Devi Kiran, Vaishnavi, Shravya, Nityananda, Hal Hassan, sorry, Sahal Hassan, sorry. Mavil, Anusha, Vivian, Annalisa, Vanessa, Krishna, Kripa. Good. Okay. Yeah.
And simple factor 0.435.
0.484. Yeah. Yeah. I told you not to disclose. You enter in the chat box. Let others try. Ripple factor. There you have to substitute all the parameters there. You take Vm by root 2 by 1 plus 2 Rf by RL. Substitute all the parameters and calculate. Yes, correct. 0.488, okay, fine. Efficiency, you're getting 77.14%, correct? Who gave the answer? Annalisa, you're right. Correct, Kate. Kate Pereira is fast. Yeah, I wanted to appreciate Kate and Meville for their performance yesterday. It was wonderful. Congratulations.
Pratham was also.
Yeah, Kate?
Pratham was also.
Pratham was also there. Okay, congratulations, Pratham.
Thank you, ma'am.
He was the one playing guitar or singing?
Mother was playing the guitar. Me and Pratham sang for the.
Oh, okay. Good performance. Okay. Yeah, peak load current.
0.1.
Yeah, Shuja. Why others are not giving the answer for peak load current? That is IM. I want you to calculate.
Ma'am, is the answer for H 0.063
Yeah.
and for I 0.07.
No. What is I? RMS current. Okay. Crude I.
Ma'am, like, how I'll type all the answers in the chat box all at once.
Okay. Anyway, you have given all the answers. I know you. It's okay. So see, it is only to track you whether you are attentive, you are following things, and you are in the class or not. That's all. So once we are familiar with your behavior, with your understanding level and all, it is okay. Some are like simply passive, they are not at all responding, not even trying, or whether they're following or not, they're not asking doubts. For them, all these procedures has to be followed. Okay, fine. Yeah, Shrija, you got a way to give the answers. Fine. Okay. IM is equal to 100 milliamps, where you substitute VM by 2 RF by RF plus RL. And DC load current, you know it is IDC, where you substitute equation 2 IM by pi. Correct? Kindly acknowledge. Alvin D'Souza. Alvin D'Souza, are you there? No, you left the meeting. Okay. Quadrus, you are here. Okay. Now look at this, the last two parameters there, the DC current through each diode. Yeah, okay, fine. 1 minute, pay attention here. For the last two, H and I, DC current through each diode is asked there. So here you have to consider that each diode acts as a half-wave rectifier, right? So the DC current through each diode, we have to take IDC by 2. The DC current across each diode, we have to take it to be IDC by 2, because both act as a separate individual half-wave rectifiers. So the whole IDC, what you are getting, the output current, what you are getting at the load, divide by 2. Yes, correct. Jane, correct. So it will be 31.83 milliamps. The IDC what you've got using 2 IM by pi. So individually across each diode, it will be IDC by 2. Similarly, the RMS current through each diode. RMS current through each diode, you have to take IRMS, that is across each diode, it will be IM by 2. IM by 2. IM by 2 will be your RMS current through each diode. And are you getting 50 milliamps there? Are you getting 50 milliamps? Because IM was 100 milliamps. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Quickly take the second problem there. It is simple and easy to solve. Quickly, a bridge rectifier is driving a load resistance of 100 ohms. It is driven by a source voltage of 230 volts 50 hertz. Neglecting diode resistance, calculate average output voltage. Average output voltage means what? What is the parameter there? Can anyone tell me? Average output voltage. VDC, correct, VDC. Then average load current, obviously it is IDC. Then frequency of the output waveform. Then DC output power. DC output power. So try, how do we proceed? You have the AC signal given there, 230 volts, 50 hertz.
The frequency will be 100.
Yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, what is your V2? That is secondary of the transformer, or VRMS. V2 is equal to? What is V2?
230.
Okay. So what will be your VM?
230 into root 2.
Correct. Yeah. So VM, you have root 2 into your V2. What do you get there, VM? Can anyone give me the answer? Enter that in your chat.
207.07.
Okay. Sean Leslie, what is that 0.325?
VM, 225.
Vm root 2 into V2
Yeah.
is
230.
is root 2 into 230, is it? Okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Proceed. So VDC. So to calculate VDC, you have to substitute equation 2Vm by pi by 1 plus 2Rf by RL. Is Rf given? If Rf given,
No, ma'am.
what will,
It's not given.
so what will you substitute there? Neglecting diode resistance. So Rf will be 0, correct. So denominator, you will have only 1. Yeah. Neglecting diode resistance, correct.
I miss average load current 2.07.
Average load current.
Yes, ma'am. 2.07.
Okay, you please calculate. I have not solved that problem because I've taken different value for V2. I've taken 100 here. So my answers will be different. I've taken VT to be 100 volts here. So I cannot verify your answers. Please give me your answers. Let me cross check it. Or let's see if majority of them, what do they get? What do you have VDC as? What is your VDC value?
207.07.
Kate, what is 650.52? Is it VDC? Okay.
I got that as VDC, ma'am.
VDC is 207.06. Huh? Okay. Most of them have given the same answer. And average load current? What is the value of IDC? See, same students are replying. I don't know what about others.
I mean the DC power output of 428.49 watt.
Huh. Yeah, how do you take it? You can take I square R, right? IDC square into RL. DC power output, you can take it as PDC is equal to IDC square into RL. Lisha, what is 2.07? 1 second. Okay. IDC is 2.07. Okay. Now frequency of the output waveform. As you can see, there is output for both the cycles, right? So the frequency of the input signal is 50. So the frequency of output waveform will be twice that of 50, that is 100 hertz. So to write the justification there, for one cycle of AC input, the rectifier output contains 2 cycles. That will be your justification. For one cycle of AC input, the rectifier output contains 2 cycles. Therefore, the frequency of output waveform is twice that of the frequency of AC input. So giving that justification, I'm answering sub-question C. Giving that justification, you will say frequency of output waveform will be equal to 2 into 50, that is 100 hertz. And the DC output power, that is last parameter, PDC is equal to IDC square into RL. Okay, are you getting 428.49 watts? Correct. Most of you have given the same value. Okay, fine. Okay, let me take all these responses and record it so that I will know How many of you were attentive? See, if the same students are answering and replying, then other students maybe have to call you out and make you answer things in the coming classes. Okay. So, fine. Yeah. All right. We will end the session. Yeah, we will end the session here. Stop recording. Stop.